I met a man.
Well, drinking with a man in a foreign country. It's a smart, responsible thing to do.
We need an amazing adventure.
Where the hell are we?
The scenic route.
Stop the...
What's your PIN number?
Everything he says.
I already am before you told me to.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, God.
I was gonna change it.
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Matt, Christy, Alonzo. Goldie Hawn is back after a 15-year absence, and Amy Schumer's got her in Snatched.
Yes, this is the first movie Goldie Hawn has made since The Banger Sisters in 2002. Why she chose to do this of all the movies in all the world, I am not sure. So Goldie Hawn and Amy Schumer play a bickering mother and daughter who reluctantly go on vacation together to Ecuador, where they get kidnapped and madcap hilarity ensues. Take a look.
Listen, I need your help. Mom and I got kidnapped.
State Department.
My mom and sister, they've been taken. I imagine you have a commando squad. 4 underground criminals who were tried for a crime they didn't commit.
Sounds like the A-team.
It is the A-team. Do you have an A-team?
Why did I ever let you talk me into this?
I should have just listened to you.
I love you. This is great, but we really gotta get out of here, you know?
Yeah, we should get out of here. Okay. Mom, we have to fight, Mom.
We've got this.
Mom, that was awesome.
You messed with the wrong bitches.
Yeah.
Go. I'm gonna count down. I'm gonna do it.
Please, please.
199.
You know how when you are watching a movie that's not finished yet, and there's that thing that says scene missing?
That's the whole movie.
I feel like there's a lot of scene missing here because we're set up to get this arc where this mother and daughter reconnect and they like sort of find out what's not working in their lives and they change over the course of this adventure. Like that's a story, that's a movie. But I missed all the connective tissue of how anybody changes or how they get closer or any of that stuff. None of that seems to be there.
Right, so Goldie Hawn is this very cautious, kind of shut-in cat lady. And Amy Schumer is playing a version of Amy Schumer, which she always plays and did much more effectively in Trainwreck a couple of years ago. And she's bawdy and she's boozy and selfish and vapid, whatever. And yeah, they have to reconnect and have a change of heart about each other and themselves and whatever. And you're right, they leap to it. Like there's a scene in the jungle. They end up in the Amazon, and there's a scene in the jungle where all of a sudden Amy Schumer's character, Emily, is like helping these villagers with these giant buckets of water at the well. And Goldie Hawn's character says, "Oh, look, you're helping." She's like, "Yeah, Mom, I'm helpful." And it's like, actually, no, you're not. You've not been helpful for a single movie, this entire movie, and that's your shtick. Your shtick is that you're selfish and vapid, but insecure at the same time, which makes you vaguely endearing. But like, yeah, that shift just happens out of nowhere. I'm like, huh? You're helpful now? Okay.
Yeah, my biggest disappointment in this movie was Goldie Hawn. I think she's somewhat miscast, and what was frustrating is you want to see Goldie Hawn do her baddie. I mean, she can do broad comedy. She's really funny, and she's so mousy in this movie for so long. Which, look, like I get that's what the role calls for, but I don't want to see Goldie Hawn do that.
Like they don't give her much to do.
Right, they don't give her much to do, and when she finally starts to cut loose, it takes a while. And even then, it's a very reserved thing. Like at no point do you get the Goldie Hawn we know and love. And all right, sure, she hasn't been on screen in 15 years, but I think she's miscast here and misused, and it's frustrating.
And you can tell that they thought this was going to be like the mother-daughter Romancing the Stone. But Romancing the Stone, if you go back and look at it, like that's a genuinely well-written, well-structured movie where those characters actually do change and go through these things, and so they're not the same at the end as they were at the beginning, and we see how they got there. And this one just sort of assumes that we'll sort of take it as read that that's happening without ever like giving it to us. Meanwhile, if this movie were a lot funnier, I would have forgiven it all of that stuff. It's funny.
It's got its moments.
I laughed a few times, but not enough for what I think the movie wanted me to. Some of the best stuff actually is, I wanted to look his name up, Bashir Salahuddin.
It's a funny subplot. Yes.
He and Ike Barinholtz have this like very testy relationship. Ike Barinholtz plays Schumer's brother, who's agoraphobic, and Bashir plays the State Department guy.
That was
so does that want to get involved? And there's a funny idea about Americans who travel the world and just think that like the second anything goes wrong, SEAL Team 6 is going to come in and rescue them, and they're like, no, if they can get to the embassy, great, but other than that, there's really not much we can do.
There's a nugget of an idea of like being like, the pampered American abroad, and they don't say anything terribly insightful about that at all. Yeah, you have a bunch of wacky supporting characters along the way who contribute moments here and there. Like Christopher Maloney is the they want to be Indiana Jones,
which I thought that was kind of funny. Wanda Sykes and Joan Cusack.
That's a funny idea.
That was a funny idea, and they have some legit laughs that when their big moment on top of the truck I thought was pretty funny, and worked for what they were trying to do. But there's just not enough of that. It's you're right. This is an unfinished movie. They either needed to take a few more passes at the script or find the pages that they lost.
And what's weird too is it was written by Katie Dippold, who wrote The Heat, who co-wrote Ghostbusters, and so she's got a history of writing daring, funny, smart, unpredictable women, and that's not happening here.
And Paul Feig, who directed those movies, produced this one, but it's directed by Jonathan Levine, who did 50-50 and Warm Bodies.
And 50-50 is great, and a really good example of, we talked about with King Arthur, how tough it is to do two different kinds of movies at once. Like 50-50 balances tone really deftly. Warm Bodies is a very funny, zom rom-com, whatever you want to call it. I like that he does not pull off that action comedy balance.
I like the whackness a lot.
I'm not as fond of the whackness.
Okay,
but I like his other stuff.
But no, I like his other stuff. Even The Night Before, while that was kind of a mess, at least was consistently funny enough that you sort of papered over the things about it that didn't work. But this one, like I said, if there were more laughs, I'd be forgiving about the emotional undercurrent being missing. But with neither an emotional undercurrent nor laughs, it's sort of like you're just kind of stuck watching this movie that always feels like it's getting started and it's about to start getting funny, but it never gets to that point.
I wonder if they just felt like you could put Goldie Hawn and Amy Schumer on camera together and that would be enough. Like magic would occur.
Sadly it didn't. I mean, that's the problem.
We talk about this all the time. It's like comedies need to be written. Comedies need to be structured. And like, yes, there is something to be gained from improvisation and you can capture certain moments out of nowhere, but that's the exception. Like the rule is it's gotta be on the page, it's gotta be planned and created in a way that the characters then have something to work with. But you can't just plop these two funny people and be like, okay, go be funny. Because then if they're not, the movie isn't.
Yeah, it's a waste of Goldie Hawn. So if you've been longing to see Goldie Hawn on screen again,
keep waiting.
Yes, I'm a 4.8. You guys?
I was a 5. Like I mean, I did laugh some, so it wasn't a total waste of time, but it was kind of a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm a 5.5. I think there's just enough in here to kind of keep me interested, but just on that side of it. So.
Okay, we're 5.1. And where is it in square meter?
36% right now.
So do not take it's Mother's Day this weekend. Don't take your mom to this. If you love your mother,
go back to Guardians.
If you hate your mother, don't take your mother to this.
Get her a Blu-ray of The First Wives Club.
Bye.